All right, what's the best piece of advice I've received about leadership or collaboration? Um, I think the best piece of advice is give people space to think and resist the strong urge that I have to just fill it with my own answers. I think leadership isn't about control. Real leadership is about asking the types of questions that really help others discover clarity, help them build confidence, and act with intention. So when I jump in with my own answers and solutions, I'm accidentally and unintentionally robbing people of their own opportunity to wrestle with that complexity and grow themselves. When I create space, though, with questions, ask away, I help others tap into their own insights and capabilities. Most challenges I found as a leader myself, like handling conflict, navigating politics, bureaucracy, helping others build autonomy, it isn't complicated, it's just uncomfortable. I like to now lean into those moments with just grace and the belief that people are much more capable than we often give them credit for.
Probably for me, the best piece around that is to slow down and listen. Um, I think one of the things that happens for me or is real for me is my brain works really fast. So I often anticipate what people are going to say before they actually say it, which is a blessing and a curse. And so I got some advice years ago from a couple of great people around me who actually convinced me to slow down and stop assuming what people are going to say and actually let them say it because they might surprise me. And that really helped me with building a more collaborative environment because I found myself not cutting them off, which actually built better trust, and invited people more to actually want to share more. So while I part of me in my brain thought it was more inefficient, it actually built a better relationship in the end. So I think just slowing down and letting people actually finish what they were thinking and asking them inquisitive questions really changed the game for me from that perspective.
As a leader, it's super important to recognize when there's uncertainty amongst your teams, and that uncertainty being one of the worst possible things, worse than bad news, worse than things they're afraid of, because they fill that uncertainty up with their worst fears. I learned this one in the Army when our commander, we were stationed in the desert for a long time, and nothing was happening, so people were really going stir crazy. And they didn't know, none of us knew what was going to happen, when, and this sort of thing. So it was really the morale was going low and frustrating. Everybody was getting frustrated, morale was low. And then one day we were woken up in the middle of the night with an alert that, this is Floof. We were awakened by an alert in the middle of the night and learned that we had a mission. There was a threat of attack, and we had to relocate our perimeter or position to a completely different place to defend an airbase somewhere far away. So we did that, and everybody got into the mission, and we were suddenly active. I learned later that that was actually just a training exercise, and no one knew about it except for the commander and a few other leaders. So what it did, though, was provide a little bit of certainty, a little bit of clarity of what's in front of us, whereas prior to that, it was all uncertainty. So now, watching out for those times when uncertainty is there and trying to clarify them is incredibly important.